FLOSSTUBE, it's Leigh from Creatively here on Sunday, the 1st of June 2025 with FLOSSTUBE number 269. Welcome back to my weekly YouTube channel about counted cross stitch. It's actually quite warm. It's a beautiful winter's day here. I've got all the doors open, so who would have thought? I think I had the heater on the other day because it was cold, but no, it's really lovely and warm, and I've just been fluffing around getting all my Frakturs up on the wall so I can show you what that looks like, making up the spare room. And it's a long weekend here in New Zealand, so we've got King's birthday weekend, so Monday, tomorrow is a public holiday, yay. I'm making the most of that. It's been quite busy at work, as always. I think it's always going to be busy at work. I didn't get as much stitching done this week as I would have liked. I had a couple of appointments after, that meant I had to go into Wellington, and then a couple of just longish days, and just wasn't really in the mood for sitting and stitching for 2 hours a night like I usually would. So I might have only done like half an hour, and then I just wasn't really, didn't have the energy for it. I don't know. So I don't have that much to show you. I also haven't got past finishes to show you. I just, again, today was a huge day for ironing for me. I didn't feel like doing more ironing or fossicking through the spare room, so it might be a slightly shorter video. Last week was an hour, so it'll even out over time, right? So yeah, King's birthday weekend. Thursday night after work, I had to head into Vautier to pick up a couple of things from Bunnings, and then attempted to get some of that Dubai chocolate that supposedly was in at Pick and Save Vautier, and I couldn't bloody find it. I walked around that supermarket twice, couldn't find it, and there was no one friendly to ask, or no one helpful. Whatever, it's like $9 for 90 grams or something, so really I probably don't need it. I then met a friend for dinner. Got a sneeze. I always sneeze when I start a video. Without fail, I have to edit out at least one sneeze when I make videos. I met a friend for dinner, then we went to the movies on Thursday night. So we went to The Salt Path with Gillian Anderson, based on a memoir, true story, about a couple in there. I have no idea what age they are. I guess early 50s. Who, late 40s, early 50s, who find themselves homeless and decide to just walk from wherever up to Land's End. And yeah, it was really, really lovely. Just experiencing their joys and tribulations. And recommend, if you like slow movies. I think it's the third movie this year, twice in 2 weeks, which is amazing. And we're going to a couple of French films in the French Film Festival. I think one this week, and then one just before I go away to Australia. So I went to the art show on Friday. I left work left home work a little bit early to go into the annual art show, which is always every King's birthday weekend, with a couple of former colleagues, and managed to, there wasn't anything that I felt I must have. Probably wasn't my favourite year, but also conscious that I just spent a whole lot of money recently on washing machine, dryer. Oh, you don't know about my vacuum cleaner. Did I tell you about my vacuum cleaner? My new vacuum cleaner. Finally, those of you who've been around for a while know I've been wanting a new vacuum cleaner for quite a few years. Mine's been taped together, but things kept coming up. Finally got it. It was on sale. Got delivered last week. It's amazing. Picks up my hair with the turbo head. It's amazing. And also the art I got from Christchurch. And I just booked flights to Australia in November because my nephew, the one who just had a baby, making me a great aunt, is they're getting married in November. Immediate family only, registry, wedding, and followed by a fancy dinner. So I've booked flights for that. So I'm going back to Australia in November for 4 nights, I think, just to fly in, wedding the next day, Friday have the day off, come back Sunday, so yeah. Anyway, let's just say more money has been going out than is coming in, so we need to just, you know, take it easy on the art purchasing. Also, in October, I'm going to Queenstown with my arty friends to go to the art show that's in Queenstown. So, you know, living the life. Anyone would think I was lifestyles of the rich and famous. Yesterday was our quarterly Welly Stitchy gathering meetup in Johnsonville. I facilitated this month because Anne's away and usually organises it. I think I mentioned it last week, and is in a new location as well. So we had about 20 of us turn up, which was great. Everyone paid their $5, which is great because we have to pay for the facility now. And I got some stitching done and probably about 1,400 stitches, I think. And I didn't have to frog anything. Yay me. It's always a bonus when you're stitching in, with other people. There's a good high chance of frogging. Oh yeah, frogging. I did have the frog visit this week on my red work, my red piece. I think Thursday, no, it must have been Wednesday. I was in the mood for chatting, so I caught up with a friend. I might even be telling you lies. It might have been Friday. I spoke to, I don't remember when it was. It doesn't really matter. But I caught up with a friend on the phone for about an hour and 3/4, and then the next day when I went to pick up my red piece, I realised that I had to frog almost everything that I had stitched for those 2 hours because I had made a mistake the third row in. So that kind of gave me the pip really. So pulled all that out and then didn't feel like stitching more, and anyway, so one of my red work, one thread a day, was undoing several red threads. Never mind, it happens to the best of us, obviously. Bit of stitching, bit of frogging. Today, just been pottering around the house, slept in, then finished a book, and then I did a little bit of my red work stitching for the day. Caught up on yesterday because I didn't do any yesterday. Then did all my ironing and got the Frakturs up on the wall. And now I'm seeing you guys. So this weekend, probably this afternoon, I'm going to start my stitch along with my friend Christine G from Dunedin. I'm going to start ink circles for us for the trees, and I'm going to stitch it on my 40 count linen hand dyed by me using Called For Classic Colourworks. It's them there in this lovely greens and that one red on my slightly peachy hand dyed linen. So looking forward to that one. Got my couple of giveaways to give away end of the video, so hang around if you put your name in for that. And then I do have another giveaway, so just some passing the stash from one of my stitchy friends from the Willy Stitchy group, so hang in for that. That will only be for New Zealand though, no one overseas. What else? I did make one purchase. One of my subscribers, Steve, who is Riven Hain on Instagram, RIVENHAIN, had, I guess, tagged me a couple of times on some of his stitching. He was stitching like Cornelius, one of the Frakturs. Well, I call him Cornelius. What was he? Fraktur 12, the bigger one. And he finished Cornelius probably a similar time frame to me, maybe within the last year anyway. And then after I showed my frames last week, he reached out and went, pointed out that we had picked exactly the same frame. No shit, exactly the same frame for framing the same piece. His fabric and flosses were different. I used, I changed my DMC up, and of course I used country stitch fabric, and he had picked a different fabric. But amazing, right? Like, we pick unbeknownst to whatever, like absolutely no collusion at all. And it's sort of fun really that we picked the same frame. So as I said, Steve, excellent taste. But then I followed him on Instagram, and he had shared a chart that he just finished, and I'd never seen it before, and he'd mentioned he didn't know if you could get it anywhere, and I found it, so I purchased it. It's slapped all over with copyright. I have no idea if it's like, I can't find this chart anywhere else, so I don't know if it's a legit copy. It was priced legit, like $12 or $13 US, which, you know, a lot of those copied / stolen or scanned charts usually cost like $2. I liked it too much, so I purchased it. So buyer beware. I think it's fine. I haven't printed the chart. I've just got a screenshot of it. I went to print the picture, and my printer's out of ink. I know there's ink somewhere, but I can't find it, so I need to get some ink for my printer. Anyway, here it is here. It's called Great Knowledge of the 16th Century, and the shop I got it from, thecraftexperimentalist.com. But as I said, I paid, you know, 12 something US for it, and I wanted it in my hot little inbox, so I have that. That's the only thing I bought. I think that's it probably. We'll get on to stitching. Oh, I should show you my FFOs on the wall, shouldn't I? So I got all the Frakturs up, and here is a couple of pictures. Here's the picture just of the showing them. Basically, they've become a headboard. Will people knock them with pillows? Probably. Most people sleep bunched down in the bed. I don't have people staying very often, so worst case we have to take a couple of them off the wall. It's fine, it'll be fine. Like for the 4 nights a year someone sleeps in that bed, I'd rather it look pretty most of the time than be practical. But anyway, there is them there, and then this picture is a bit of a close-up of the cluster of them. So yeah, I think they look marvelous. And there's room for expansion, dare I say it, but I have no plans in the short term to stitch anymore that particular style. I do have other, what I would call more gothic style birds that you could argue overlap with Frakturs, but whatever, yay. So that is, I'm very happy to get all those up, and thank you for encouraging me, because I am the kind of person who has been known to have a thing leaning against a wall for 2 years before I A, find my hammer, and B, decide where the hole's going to go. So the fact that I have them up on the wall within, when did I go to Christchurch? 3 weeks is amazing. It's a miracle. Okay, cup of tea. Okay, I have to share my cup of tea. I bought this when I was down in Christchurch, when I went to Riverside Markets with my brother and sister-in-law on the way to dinner. We were early, so we just wandered around, and Riverside Market's this lovely indoor kind of permanent market with, you know, bougie burger places and delicatessens and cheese shops and all sorts. I picked up this cardamom chai and pre-mixed instant tea, so it's powdered tea like you often get in India. And of course, cardamom is cardamom is my favorite spice. I love cardamom so much. So I'm addicted to this at the moment. I put 2 heaped tablespoons into a cup. It says 2 tablespoons for 150 ml, so I'm probably doing 2 heaped tablespoons for like 250 ml cup, but it's so good. I love it so much, and I'm addicted to it. But I'm trying to only have 1 cup a day, because, you know, it's got sugar and shit in it. Stitching in no particular order. I picked this up yesterday at the Stitchy Day. I needed to get my roughly 1,700 stitches in. Procession of Princesses, one of my leap year sale pieces, and I am behind now because it's the 1st of June and I did not get my stitching in on the other piece, the Women in Profile, but so I need to do double duty on that this month. But hopefully June's a little bit better of a stitching month for me. We shall see. I'll catch up, it'll be fine. I've caught up before. So this is from Vivsters on Etsy, and using 20 count Ivory Aida from Zweigart, using the Charter DMC, including the Devil's Thread. The girls yesterday got to see what the gold looks like, so it's really hard to see on screen, but yeah, it's beautiful in person, just really, really subtle. And I did one bush, one violet bush, and that was exactly 1690 stitches, which was 10 short of my monthly, target, but I was a little bit ahead. So all in all, I'm about 6 stitches shy of my whatever month target we're in. So I'm on 25,494 of target, 25,500 up here. So I still need to get my 2,500 into Women in Profile, but that's fine. We shall catch up. So here is where she's at. So good. And I did this little shrub down here, this violet one here. So it's got 3 shades of violet in it, like 552, 553 and 550, I think. And that, yeah, was just shy, 10 shy, the fill-in was 10 shy of my monthly target. So that is what basically 1,700 stitches looks like, ignoring the back the black border. So yep, love it. Glad I got at least one of them in, because yeah, as of yesterday I didn't, but it was quite good. It's good to take an Aida piece. The lighting probably not quite as good at our new place as it was at the old place, but it was still pretty good. But I wouldn't want to have tried to stitch on a dark coloured 40 count. During the week, apart from my red work piece, the only other stitch I got done was on Birdy Boulevard, my Carolyn Manning It Takes a Village collection, which I am stitching on 28 count lugana and the colour Little Boy Blue from Country Stitch, using Charter DMC. And I got I think I'll show you where we're at. And I got the other row inside, the other upside down row. So I think, which one was it? It has a yellow bird on it. It must be this one down here. The one that's at the bottom. So now I remember stitching the little yellow bird and all those viney flowers, sunflowers. So that upside down one got stitched. So we only have 4 rows to do. 2 outer, and then, the 2 inner ones are literally a couple of houses and some greenery, because you can see that it's getting a bit full. I think actually one of those only might have, just 2 fit in. So that one has, one decent birdhouse and a little tiny one. That one has a big pink house and a little skinny one, and that's that yellow bird chicken that I'd started stitching. And then the outside ones just have, so we'll see. I'll try and keep it out and do, one out and one in, and then at least just one out and one in. But yeah, pretty close. It's getting, it's over halfway, obviously, because I've got that row done. Having a hot flush. Bear with me while I far out. Okay. Not always as much fun as they could be, that's for sure. Okay, and then of course there's my red work piece that I'm doing the one-ish red thread a day-ish, Under the Red Blues by Isabelle Vautier, on 40 count Kauri linen from, you guessed it, Country Stitch, using Gentle Art Claret. And this, yeah, had quite a bit of frogging on it this week. But anyway, since you last saw it, I don't know when I've stitched, other than I know that all of this is new. This big motif took 3 days to stitch, and that is the I, that's the J, so I and then JKL. So I think I might have finished a bit over here. This here I'd stitched from about here is where this border was, and I stitched up to about here, and all of that had to come out. So I just stitched a little bit, enough that I could, because I wanted to count. It was when I went to count over to start this motif that I realized this was wrong. I'd put an extra in this middle row here. I put that twice, and I was stitching on the phone largely from memory, and I misremembered, and then because I put an extra row in here of 2 rows, then when I got up here I repeated it. So basically I had, from there, I had kind of that much again. It was quite a lot to pull out, but anyway, it came out and it's fine. And yeah, this one here mirrors, this all mirrors over here, but on the other side of the eye. And then the last, I think it's the last row of the alphabet. Yeah, then we've got A through H goes in above it. And then we will be, so I think I said that was about 3/4 in here. So I'm almost 3/4, probably I've stitched a little bit more. I'm pretty close to 3/4 now. Then hopefully in June I can get the top done. These repetitive little borders are usually really quick because they're so repetitive. Those little patches are really repetitive, they're really quick as well. If I don't stuff the border up, I'm pretty good at it. Just this bit here will take a bit because it's not too bad. A couple of motifs and some cherubs. I don't know if those are cherubs. They look like maybe. They're very little. Maybe it's foliage. I can't really tell. It's a bit small. Anyway, making good progress on that. So that was my stitching for the week. Probably not my most exciting week of stitching, but I'm pleased with the progress nonetheless. So what else did I have? A couple of giveaways. Sorry for the rustling. So I did the one of the random comment picker thingies earlier, and took some screenshots. So I've got details to give away. I wrote down people's names. I did crowns first of all, giving the chart away. And this is going to Canada at Carol. So congratulations, Carol. Thank you for your lovely comment, and happy to get that off to you. I'll tag you in your comment if you can just email me to the email that's in the doobly-doo, leibling1919@gmail.com, and I will get that off to you in Canada. Who knows how long it will take? Don't know. And then I pulled out Cats. I think Cats is going to New Zealand. I need to find that charm as well. This is going to Caro Burden 4103. So congratulations, Caro, I presume. Thanks for your comment, and really happy to get that off to you as well. I'm going to sneeze again. Oh, it's a 2 sneeze video. Bless me. Okay, I've just got some linen to give away. It comes with a whole bunch of caveats, so buyer beware and all that. But Courtney, one of our stitches in Wellington, had brought this along. Anyway, she ended up with some linen from Fabric Flair, and it's not really what she was looking for. I think it was sort of a apology for stuffing something up, like it was sort of free with, it doesn't really matter. But anyway, she wants to pass it on. I agree with her, it's not my cup of tea either. It's so just to, if you're not aware, Fabric Flair does printed fabrics for stitching. So yeah, they put their fabric through and it gets the picture or the color or whatever gets printed on. They have a whole different lot of range of, like, from Aida through even weave through linen, but they don't use Zweigart or Butcher. They use, we don't know what brand they use. In my opinion, it's a poorer quality. So just so I can't even, I've thought about doing a test swatch for you, but I just didn't have it in me. It's not the same. It's quite, I can't even guarantee that it's even. It's, you know, it's sold as even weave or what have you. But it is 40 count linen. But anyway, we just want to pass it on. You could even use it just for finishing. You could cut it up for smalls, but I'll show you each. I'm going to give each of these pieces away individually, and only to New Zealand. It's sort of not my stash, and you know, shipping and all that. So I'm just only going to open this up to Kiwi gals. Happy to shove it in a little envelope for you. It's not going to be fancily packaged, but we just don't want it to go into landfill. There's definitely a use for it, and some people might be more tolerant of, yeah, it would be fine to stitch on. It's just not my cup of tea either. It's a little bit slubby, but yeah, and it's a little bit stiff. It's just wanting to be really open about it. I don't want to put anyone off. I just want to be really open about it. I've stitched on fabric flare way back. Some people might remember my chatelaine, my Marrakesh night market was stitched on a fabric flare even weave. I love how it looks. I freaking hated that fabric. I hated the feel of it, and also I found if you had to frog, the dye often came off. It's a really different fabric to this. I would stitch on it again just because the colour was perfect for what I wanted, but I don't like it. I don't like the fabric personally, so there's just, but you know, sometimes you suffer for your art. So this is one. They're all roughly fat quarter-ish. They're not cut very straight. They're not overlocked or serged. They are what they are, but they are really pretty. They're really pretty. This one is called Pond Slushy, and it's this lovely mottly bluey green. If you want to be in for this, again, you need to be New Zealand based, or I'm going to charge you $25 for shipping, because that's probably what it would cost. So this one we're going to call, you need to use the word pond, Pond, if you want it, with all those caveats where I did my best to put you off. It'd be hilarious if nobody wants any of these. So yeah, the word pond for Pond Slushy. This one is called Forest Slushy, with theme here. This one obviously smudgy, mostly green, kind of quite a bright green going into a pale sort of teal. And yeah, so you probably guessed the key word. It's going to be forest. So Forest Slushy. But yeah, just the word forest. So we've got pond and forest. And this one, apparently people have used this to stitch Garden Prelude on. But on 40 count it would be, you'd have to change some of the beads and things. That's I think it's the chick with the violin, the Mirabilia. I don't know that I would stitch it. It's a bit violent for my, what's this one called? It doesn't have a name. It's a scene. So here we go. So you can see, obviously you'd want to stitch it something in a horizontal. I guess you could stitch something vertical, just smaller and uppy downy. So this one doesn't have a name on the fabric. So let's just use the word storm, S-T-O-R-M. Listen, if you're willing to put up with the fabric not being Zweigart, so just of a poorer quality, a little bit slubby, there's a bit of slubbing there, you know, give him a crack, Nigel. Anyway, you could also just use them for finishing, make backs of cushions, whatever. So, as long as I didn't put people off, we've got pond, forest, and storm. Again, Kiwi only. Put your names in for those, and I'll get them squished into some kind of small receptacle to get off to you. And that way we just want to send them off to a home where people would appreciate them. They're just not our cup of tea. And again, they weren't what Courtney really had ordered. She kind of ended up with them as a, sorry, I stuffed up your order. Here, here's some Aida for you, not Aida. Yes, that was like, as you can see, there is no time for me to put other stuff in. But yeah, just said to her, I'd rather pass them on to people than us, whatever, languishing in a cabinet of guilt or something like that. So thanks, Courtney, for letting me do that. I don't even know if Courtney watches me. Thinking about doing a saga start, both Courtney and Three Sneezes. Courtney and one of the Melissas, because we've got several, is doing a stitching or planning restarts or readjustments on Saga. They're both quite early in the Saga story. They're long dog samplers, and that's on my wish list. But I do need to finish. I want to finish Quinto Cuto first. So Sampler September's coming up, so I know that I've got lots of starts for samplers, but definitely want to bring out my long dog and give that a bit of love so that I could look at starting Saga next year. So I sort of told them I might join them in Saga eventually, but it wouldn't be like immediately. And they're like, we'll still be stitching them, and I think that at least Courtney is still stitching Quinto Cuto as well. So we'll see. I need to start thinking about how I want to kit that up, because I haven't even got any ideas at the moment. What else? That's probably it really, other than it's June. Holy shit. Do I have any plans for June? I need to catch up on my my leap year stuff. I didn't get my garden club done last month. I just missed the 13th, just wasn't good for me. So I need to stitch May and June for that, to keep on track for that. So yeah, to catch up with Women in Profiles, it's about 5,000 stitches. I of course have to do my June Procession of Princesses, that's 1,700 stitches, 2 parts of the Garden Club series. I need to work out fabric, thinking forwards to August for my Modern Folk Embroidery mini, what do you call that? Small, quintessential small start today with the Forest of the whatever, Forest for the Trees. And I need to, and I want to maybe, I think it's probably realistic for me to try and finish my Birdy Boulevard. At least that will get a finish in the bag, given that, yeah, for someone who doesn't do plans, it's quite a lot of plans. I'm also behind in my secret stitching that I need to do for eventual Christmas exchanges with friends. And I am like behind because I need to catch up from last year, because I didn't do last year either, because just last year was, a horrible year. So they forgive me, but I know I'm feeling a little bit behind personally, because I just have had a lot going on, but it's fine. Hey, I got 8 finishes. I got 8 FFOs in the bag, only because I paid someone else to do it. And I got them on the wall, which is amazing, because I actually have I probably have about 5 or 6 framed pieces that I haven't actually put on the wall yet. They're like, how I said they can sit leaning up against the wall. That's all I've got. I'm gonna go. Thanks for coming along. I'll talk to you later. And don't forget, pond, forest, storm. Take care, and as always, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.